pressure coming, and Perkins gets away, but now the ball's on the ground. Leonard looking in trouble. He's sacked, and that's it. The Falcons are home. That's the key. There we go. Game on the line. A stumble. And from behind, he's taken down. And for the second straight year, the game ends on a sack.
Welcome back to Coming Off the Edge. And we're coming off the edge extra hard tonight. We are going mock draft 2022 rookies, superflex, tight end premium.
Sunday.
I ain't got nothing cool like you guys. Jeff got the boys. Herms with the props. What's good, everybody?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? We got Corey James, Herms
Craig
in the building. Shout out to Craig in the chat. Good evening, Edgers. Oh, that sounds pretty edgy.
Let's all edge together. Everybody, let's edge. This is cool. Hi.
Hey.
We miss Nate. We miss Jeff. Nate is being a father. Jeff is being a CPA.
Yeah, CPA.
Manager person that he is. So tax season. I filed mine. I'm getting mine back soon. I'm excited. I got to buy a new wheel for my car. Not a tire, not a rim, a wheel.
A wheel.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Wait, like a steering wheel?
No, so I have chrome wheels. So after time, the brake will rust from the chrome, thus separating the rim from the tire and letting air out. So, that's a $400 to $700 thing I've done 3 or 4 times already. So that sucks, but whatever.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's
Shout out
never
Lincoln.
exactly happened to me. Living in
I ain't.
the ocean area, that sea air, the salt in the air, it just kills cars around here. Like
Sure.
you got to seriously wax your woohoo to make sure that it doesn't rust up.
What's cool about Michigan is, when they say if you're buying a used car, make sure it's not from a salt winter area.
Mhm.
Michigan here, we use sand for on the road. I assume sometimes people use salt too, let's be honest, but that's just an interesting note to make if you're going to buy a used car because the salt will rust the underneath quicker or whatever.
Fun fact,
FF?
did you know that they are experimenting in beet juice as a snow melter?
Beets?
Beets, B-E-E,
Like the
B-E-E-T, like the vegetable.
like the purple thing? Are they
Yeah,
purple?
yeah. I mean, they're golden yellow too, but yeah, mainly
So Dwight
purple.
finally got the contract. Good for him. All right. Good job, Dwight. That's awesome. Good for you. There you go. All right.
But
Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah.
the beet juice, though, they're having a problem because it turns the roads purple.
I mean, whatever.
I'm
Who
okay
cares?
with that.
Who cares?
If it
right?
works. You know?
It's purple. I mean, then it creates jobs because then you need to hire people to paint the road. So it's very economical, very viable as well.
Yeah, I guess.
Or we could just have purple roads.
Yeah.
Purple roads.
A
What's the
fun
yellow
novelty.
brick road? What's that from?
Wizard
Wizard of
Oz.
Oz.
Wizard of Oz. Dorothy. What's the in Toto?
All right, Toto, let's kick this off. What are we doing tonight? We are just chilling right now. I mean, that's what we do. Oh, damn. There is
Just
a rookie
chilling.
draft that we are going to be doing tonight. So there's 3 of us.
There's 3 of us. We're not doing it in Sleeper. Here's our makeshift Excel sheets because we don't have friends. And if you use Sleeper, the computer will auto draft a pick and what that's typically the highest ADP maybe.
Mhm.
But in theory, maybe sometimes aren't the best representation because a lot has happened, especially to a tight end like Jalen Weidermeyer, who completely tanked all his combine.
Still liking them.
But here it is. Oh my God, that's awesome, Herms. But yeah, what are we doing here, guys? What are we doing again? Right here.
12-team Superflex PPR tight end premium mock draft.
0.5. We'll
Rookies only. Oh, 0.5, 1.5.
It could be
Put
1,
that
it could be
in.
0.5, you know?
Yeah.
Just
So who's who here?
I don't know. I'm taking a quarterback at position 1. What would
Ryan
you guys
Herms.
take?
I would probably take a quarterback.
Herms?
I would take Brees Hall.
Ooh, so maybe we'll have Herms go first, and we could have a little chaos
The
going.
first pick is in column H on the Excel sheet, H for Herms. So I think it's only fair.
So Herms goes Brees Hall as the first pick. Is there a reason why you will take him over a guy, say, like Malik Willis?
Who I'm taking next.
Okay, you could go.
I mean,
Herms time.
I'm if I were actually to be faced with this decision, I'm not entirely sure what I would do, but for the sake of being contrarian, for the sake of conversation, there, like it's one of those things where, like, people have to keep in mind, the two cheapest ways to get quarterbacks in superflex are in the startup and in the rookie draft. Like, of course, it's important to take as many of the low cost, chances that you can, relatively speaking, because I mean, after a certain point, you have to give up a lot to be able to acquire them in the trade market. But like, there's enough questions about this class that, like, I believe enough other quarterbacks are going to be there at a depressed cost because so many people are afraid of this shit. And like, I mean, there's a difference between the ceiling of Malik Willis and some of his class counterparts. However, if you have, compiled multiple picks or whatever, and you want to take that chance later, I think it's a defensible enough strategy to just go with the best player available that you feel will be really good. And then later on, say somebody like a Matt Corral falls or something, and you have one of those later. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of it more from just, that's why we do mocks. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not entirely sure what I would do, but I'm going to see how this strategy plays out because there's only 3 of us. We're going to have chances to pick again. I want to know how this works for me. So
right.
This is the angle I'm going at it.
I dig what you're getting, Herms, what you're putting out there, because I have the 102, and as far as I can see, I have the 102 in my home league as well. As far as I can see is that it doesn't matter if you're 101 or 102, you're getting one of these 2 players indefinitely. And both of them should pay out. Malik Willis will pay out a little bit more if he hits his full potential.
Yeah.
But Brees Hall, just like we saw with Najee Harris, now Najee Harris's value is through the roof this year. And that can also happen with Brees Hall, probably at a faster rate for running back because they have a heavy inflated value in their first couple of years, and then they start to tail off with age. Malik Willis will be on the incline when Brees Hall probably starts coming down. So I get what you're saying. And if I had 102 and you took Malik Willis, I'd be taking Brees Hall. So I appreciate you letting Malik Willis fall to me. Man's a beast. He is definitely a physical specimen. I want to see what he can do in the NFL. I mean, we all do, right? But by far, he is the first tier of quarterback, and then there's a drop. So I am definitely going with Malik Willis at the 102.
What up?
So
Corey?
Which one?
Core.
Nice. Yeah, dude. Brees Hall, Malik Willis again, probably the 1.01, 1.02, no matter what you want to do. A lot of the times, if you're the first pick, you're presumed to be bad. But if you're the first pick, maybe you got lucky and traded for that pick. So taking the running back in a questionable quarterback prospect class is cool. But it seems like we kind of have struggle on how to even identify and, analyze quarterback prospects when Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, all these people were kind of on this Malik Willis tier of prospects. So with the 1.03, you guys alluded to it. The quarterback prospects here are not that good. I'm going to go Treylon Burks.
Yeah.
I know the NFL is lower on Burks than the fantasy community is. He's a little bit more raw than what maybe a Garrett Wilson, Drake London, Chris Olave, Jameson Williams is.
Baby, I like it raw.
But like if the NFL is lower on him and then he does fall in a nice situation, whether that's the Chiefs, Packers, that's really cool. But there's a lot out there pointing that Treylon Burks is not just a gadget player, and he has a higher ADOT than like a Justin Jefferson, a DJ Moore, or these other people. So that's very interesting to see. A lot of conflicting opinions on him there, but I'm choosing to believe in Treylon Burks, and I'm going to take him here with the 3rd pick.
I don't hate it. I mean, he was the wide receiver 1 in this draft class for a little bit. I think he's been usurped by maybe 1 or 2 of the wide receivers on this list still. But hey, rule number 1, if he's your guy, and you have a top pick, go out and get your guy. Because 9 times out of 10, it's a dice roll if they're going to hit anyway. Yes, Corey.
Right. Let's be like draft capital will influence that, but what you're meaning is with all of these wide receivers, Burks, Wilson, London, Olave, and Williams, they all are likely going to go first round. So a first round draft capital, what's the difference between the 11th pick or the 20th pick? It's still first round capital. So like just pick and choose what you want. But if you're going for like a Mechie who went like 4th round, like, obviously don't pick him in the first round.
No.
Right. I just wanted to, make sure we all are on that same page with that.
No, if you like Daniel Bellinger, pick him 101.
Right.
I mean, that's what we do.
You never know. Like, what if someone
you got to come off the edge somewhere or another.
Hey.
No.
He's actually very intriguing. Okay.
All right. So
Herms, you're up.
Herms gets the 104.
Herms, don't think like, oh, I need to pair someone with Breece Hall. Just think you're the 4th team here.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Although I will just very quickly say about Treylon Burks, for whoever was like upset about how he tested athletically at the combine or whatever the hell, it's like he just came out like as an AJ Brown clone with some of those numbers. I don't see why people are mad. Like that's pretty good. What you got, Corey?
So we know Taekwon Thornton, the other wide receiver that ran a 4.2840.
Mm-hmm.
Burks ran his 4.53, 4.5540. So the thing to note about Taekwon Thornton's 40, he reached a max speed of 23.8 miles per hour in that specific, instance. But Treylon Burks was clocked at like 22.2 or 21.2 miles per hour.
Oh.
So like you see,
and he's got the route running capabilities. That's the difference. Yeah.
It's like he ran a 4.5, but he's only running 1 mile per hour less. It's like sometimes these athletes take a little bit a while to get up to that top speed. Not everyone has the same burst right off that like little 3-point stance they're doing. So I'm a Treylon Burks truther. So sorry, I digress.
I mean, I am one of those myself, so I'm really glad we were able to hit on that even more. So with the 4th pick anyway, I'm torn between 2, but I'm going to go with Kenneth Walker because, I understand like Garrett Wilson is a very acceptable pick here as well. But the thing about Garrett Wilson is that potentially,
don't talk bad about my next pick.
No, I'm just like the fact that he can do so many different things for an offense, at least early in his career, may hurt the immediate fantasy production because he, like our buddy Jeff, like he wrote that awesome article over at Football Guys, just like the wide receivers doing the different like basketball archetype things. And like, you settle into that kind of role later on, but like the more stuff you can do, the more fun it is. But I mean, like we kind of saw that a little bit with like CeeDee Lamb in his rookie year. It's just like, yes, it's evident, but like it took a little bit because it's like, yes, he is so good at doing so many different things. They moved him around a lot. And depending on the game, it either was like super cool or super, not great. So I don't know. Kenneth Walker is probably going to have the higher immediate return. And also I just love the one cut and boom type runners. You know what I mean? Like my favorite types of running backs are more the receiving guys or whatever. Like those are my bread and butter, but a solid, just one cut, shove it up the gut type dude, like Walker, dude, man, he's going to have himself a fun time. I'm really, really excited to see where he goes. So that's where I'm at.
I thought I was going to get Walker at 5, but since that did not happen, I will take Garrett Wilson. All right. He is very versatile on the field, very physical specimen, speedy, as we all saw. And I think, there's no Jamar Chase. There's no Justin Jefferson in this draft. We don't have an elite top tier wide receiver. What we do have are a lot of 1Bs that could turn into something very nice. Maybe a high end wide receiver 2 or even a low wide receiver 1, but there's no definitive wide receiver 1 in dynasty football in this draft. I'm sorry. That's the way I feel. And it's just, but out of the top 3 or 4, maybe 5, you can all bank on them to give you back a return fairly early. I'm not going to say year 1 because we can't always predict that, but fairly early in their careers, the first or second season, they should produce for you at some sort of capacity that gives them added value to their dynasty stature. So that's where I'm at. Garrett Wilson, for the 105. Lock it in.
Yeah, you make great points about these wide receivers. The 5 wide receivers, the big 5, pick who you like. You know, they're all going to get first-round draft capital most likely. Again, it's interchangeable. And actually, I've been presented in this situation before. I don't know, 3 or so weeks ago, we did a rookie draft, and I took a player over this player I'm going to make right now.
Oh, so we have some growth in value, huh?
Yeah. You know, I did make a mistake of picking someone over Drake London, I believe.
Very nice.
So I'm actually gonna, learn and adapt here. I mean, I again, if all these wide receivers, all 5 of them are first round. That's cool. That's indicative of a team wanting to utilize that specific player in their scheme and their role. But I've come around a lot to Drake London. There's been a lot of influence from the timeline and from people that I've talked to. So I'm gonna take
big body receiver, man. He's gonna be
Drake
lethal
London.
in the red zone.
A guy that played basketball,
Yeah.
Jeff, like you said, Jeff alluded to that, there's so much. And, again,
Shout out,
pick
Jeff.
your guy. So far through 6 picks, we have 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and 1 quarterback in a super flex league. Again, it's very common to value the quarterbacks higher, but we did know terms alluded to the points about
Sharks in the water.
these quarterbacks kind of being a little, not sus, but like just not good prospects. And here we are through 6 picks with Malik Willis going as the only quarterback here. And we're back to Herms at pick 7.
And with me on the clock at pick 7, it's still going to be just the one quarterback because I'm gonna go wide receiver. We're gonna make that 3 in a row. Chris Olave, man, dude, I really think he can walk in immediately and do something pretty gnarly, especially because 2 reasons. One, I feel like some of the opportunities he could find himself in terms of teams that may be interested in drafting him. I don't know that he has to be the immediate option right away. And then also, I was really big on him when I thought he was going to declare last year. And he didn't really do anything this past season that made it worse. So it's I already really liked the prospect. So it's just he's the one that I have the greatest familiarity with. And I'm just why not? Why not? He's got hella speed too. Very fast man.
So, like you said, he went back for his senior season, his 4th year.
Yeah.
So something I'm trying to knock in my analysis is early declares. There's been a lot of early declares that people like to see amongst their wide receivers, but sometimes, staying 4 seasons is not, shout out to 4 seasons. Staying 4 seasons in college is not the worst, really. When you kind of break it down, sort of like how, college dominator is not the be all end all we've seen with Brian Edwards and things like that. So me personally, I'm trying to knock, I'm not going to knock someone for going back for their senior year when, maybe the data kind of says early declares are cool. A good wide receiver, a great wide receiver will go to the NFL early because they're great. They don't need to go 4 years, but shout out Chris Olave. That's who I took over. Drake London.
I appreciate Chris Olave for staying his senior year. I mean, it gives, because last year's class was already crowded and this year's same thing, but he's got a little bit more of a leg up on some of these prospects. And if you look at his stats, which I am doing now, I do not memorize stats like this. He increased his workload in his senior year. He caught 15 more balls. He played 4 more games. He's on a right pace with the 14.4 average reception. And then he had 13 touchdowns. So he made his case, considering in his junior year that he was injured. So that had a lot to do with it. But I'm going to stop right here with wide receiver.
You're taking a narrow receiver.
A narrow receiver.
Instead of wide.
I
love Craig, dude. I love his jokes, man. Shout out Craig.
Now I'm going to take the Ritter, man. The Riddler.
I love
Desmond Ritter.
So hold on. Before we get into it, so we were speaking on the wide receivers. Maybe Olave did go back to get a little bit of cash.
Yeah, I would think so. Get a better draft capital. Yeah, for sure.
He meant the NIL deal. Maybe he signed $700,000 for the get your car over at Chef Chevy. But yes, maybe he did.
That sounds heavy.
Ford. I don't know whatever you drive, bro.
Chevy, bro.
Sorry. Okay, but pick 108.
Chevy.
You went with
Desmond Ritter. He's my number 2.
He has risen draft boards.
He's been my number 2 since I started watching film this offseason. And I think he stayed there and cemented himself in that sense. Ran a 4.5 in the 40, totally
That's
crushed
awesome.
the combine, had a good pro day. I wouldn't say over the top. Like there were some passes at his pro day that he did not connect on, and he took it on the chin, and he's sitting there. He's like, oh, I wish I could have had some of those back. But I think he's the most experienced besides one other quarterback on this list. And I think he has been said to be a team leader. He wants to go with the team. I think he does not get out of the first round. So he will have the draft capital to be a franchise quarterback per se. And yeah, I think he's probably the second quarterback off the board in the NFL draft. And I'm happy to get him here in the 108.
Yeah, like you're saying, draft capital influences a lot of these decisions we are making. So right now, it's really cool for us to be like, this is
Just
our
based
guy.
off talent. Yeah.
Like we're quote unquote analysts. We're trying to get ahead of the curve here. A lot of people would be like, Desmond Ritter, who? But many could argue he's the most kind of quote unquote pro style ready quarterback out there right now.
Shout out Cincinnati.
Like you said, Kenny Pickett, there's a lot of rumors. Maybe he goes to Carolina, who knows? But we don't know right now. So that's why having these rookie drafts before the NFL draft is it's a little bit wild, because as us people in the industry, if we're giving you advice, we need to follow our own advice.
Uh-huh.
And I love that Desmond Ritter pick. Honestly, I thought he was going to drop a little bit here, but pick 9 here. We talked about Kenny Pickett. These other 3 quarterbacks here, Howell, Pickett, and Coral, they're all being talked about. But I'm going to finish off that big 5 wide receiver and take Jameson Williams here.
Ooh.
I think at pick 9, he's fine. He's coming off that ACL. Who cares? Whatever. He's going to get that first-round draft capital. Many people believe he may be the best wide receiver in this class. Again, we're alluding to it. Pick any of these top 5 as you want. So I think at pick 9, that's good value right there. Good value for Jameson Williams.
I mean, dude, if he ends up doing something where he can just be like the burner guy, like honestly,
didn't he visit with Dallas? Not to cut you off, I'm sorry, but didn't he?
No, but like,
was it him or Garrett Wilson?
I think he visited.
I think it was. I mean, they're hosting a lot of guys though, so I mean, honestly, like regardless of name, like folks, like be prepared, the whole like, oh, they get rid of Amari Cooper thing, blah blah. It's like because of stuff like this. This is
Money.
why I am way more excited about CeeDee Lamb and one of these guys playing together than Amari Cooper and CeeDee.
Hey, don't discount
Gallup,
Michael Gallup.
Yeah,
don't do that. Don't do
He's
that.
a big reason to get rid of Cooper. Well, besides the money, but
well, I mean, he's still coming back from the injury. I'm more excited about him in the long-term future than I am the short-term future. But yes, Michael Gallup, name to remember as always.
That's my bad.
Yeah, man. No, but
wait.
Yes.
Wait. What are we waiting for?
I don't know. I forgot.
Jeff,
If I picked 8, who was supposed to pick 9? Corey?
Oh, was that? Yeah. I got 3, 6, and 9. You got 2, 4, 6, 8, and Herms got 1, 3, 5, 7. Oh, Herms was supposed to.
Screw it.
Dude, we're on pick 10. Herms, you're up.
All right, there we go. All right. So
I don't know.
it's a pretend draft anyway.
That's why you mock. Just in
Yeah,
case
1,
you
4,
pick out
7,
of turn.
and 10. No, yeah, Herms is up now. 1, 4, 7, and 10.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Chef,
And
get out
then-
of here.
Also, before I make my pick, I do want to pass along something that my brother pointed out to me that I thought was hilarious. So, like, the NFL draft is essentially just like a bunch of people tuning into a live conference call, basically. You know what I mean? And that's really all it is. And like anytime there's like a mock draft show on like ESPN or NFL Network or any of those channels, like we're just doing like a pretend run through of a conference call.
Okay.
Think about that. I thought that was amusing.
We are doing that.
Yeah.
We don't even know what we're talking about. Half the time.
Exactly. Yeah. It's beautiful. I don't know. But just chew on that for a second, everybody. Chef and I have different guys that we think are going to be the second quarterback taken off the board. Although I will say, second show in 3 days, I'm going to try and manifest this into existence. If the Tennessee Titans want to, raise up somebody behind Ryan Tannehill. Yeah, because, I mean, he's only under contract through the end of the 23 season. I think that could be pretty interesting. I'm trying to make that a thing.
Who you going with, bro?
Matt Corral.
Wow.
Golden Corral. There you go. Honestly,
It's
like
been a minute, bro. I used to love that place.
yeah, shout out.
And was it TCB? Hold on, sorry to cut off.
TCBY.
No, that's the
It's the country's best yogurt.
No, that's the ice cream place. What's
Yeah.
the other? Who cares?
Honky Bucket. Yeah, Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Matt Corral. Golden Corral.
Golden Corral.
Oh, I got
we mentioned that pre-show.
Hell yeah. Matt Corral.
No, I don't
really
hate
good.
the pick.
Really
I don't
good.
hate the pick with Matt Corral. I mean, I have a little bit of concern with his leg injury, but his pro day kind of cleaned that up for me. So yeah, I don't see him. I talked about this, or Tyler mentioned this during the show on Sunday for DHH. It was the borderline quarterback
Let's show up
to make into the first round of the draft, and I think Coral is one of those that could do it. So I don't hate the pick, and I see now the Maryland residents are boosting his value in drafts, huh? Yeah, that's how it goes.
and right now, without knowing the draft capital of the NFL,
you want him to go to Tennessee, huh?
I want Ritter to go to Tennessee. That would be really cool. I want Matt Corral to be the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. But
you want anyone to be?
Yeah. I already talked about it on the show after the signing, but great bridge guy. But if we could take, somebody either this draft or next draft, that would be super.
I think there would be a guy there at 20 for the Steelers. I think.
I mean, it's easier to get Corral than it is because I don't want to have to trade up for Willis. Like, it's not that I dislike Malik Willis. It's just that we have so many other problems. Like, our defensive front is getting older. The secondary has been bad besides, we've had really good safeties for as long as I've been a fan, but the cornerbacks have always been frustrating the entire time I've been watching. And then the famous O-line woes are still a problem. So it's with that many other holes to plug, it's like, do we really want to package picks that could go to help addressing other stuff when we could just take a perfectly fine quarterback just a little bit later? Just a little patience. That's all it is.
We'll see here. What, March, April 28th, I believe, is the NFL draft. 428.
Yes, sir.
428 first round, Vegas, shout out. So, I'll come back. A lot of this will probably change, especially after that. I think, Chef, you alluded to how you'll have to change your kind of,
a little bit landing spot and systems.
Landing spots matter because
have a lot to do with it. Yeah.
So here we go. 11, Chef.
All right. Well,
a lot of people here still on the board.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we only picked 10. I'm
just saying, a lot of people are hating on this draft class, but here we are actually in it, and we're like, damn, there's a lot of good players.
No, I mean, in the first round of your draft, you should be able to come away with something decent, and I'll keep the wheel spinning here. Let me get. Oh, you think I'm going to pick him? You think so?
I was waiting on a quarterback.
Yeah, it's definitely a quarterback, and at this point in the draft, in the back half of the draft, I'm okay with either of these last two that are on here. But give me Kenny Pickett.
I knew it.
I like Howell. I really like Howell. But I have a feeling that Atlanta or the Colts may be going after Kenny Pickett. And if he lands in one of those two spots where he's playing indoors and they don't have to worry about talk about his hand size and fumbling the ball outdoors and yada, 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 his only down suit that they can really dig on him about, because he's a great player. He's seasoned. He played all his years in college. And I think that he's really built his draft stock very, very well. And I think he's going to translate into an NFL quarterback, whether or not he's a Kirk Cousins archetype or
which would be great.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind. Or even a Drew Brees archetype. You never know. You never know. But if he lands either of those two teams, I'm very excited, and I'd be happy to take him here at the end of the first round.
Something interesting about Kenny Pickett is when Matt Rule was head coach at Temple, Pickett visited him for he could go to
Carolina. I don't like him as much in Carolina.
But if he goes pick 8 or whatever it is, 6 or 8 to Carolina, Pickett's got to be.
He's going to be moving up this
draft. Top 5 pick.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, this is definitely going to change, but I like to see it right now.
I'm looking forward to this. This is really cool. And that's where we are at now. Pick 12. I'm going to assume I won the championship. Maybe this pick 12 did trade it. You never know what's going to happen. But this pick that I am making is I'm assuming I am the champion. And if I'm a champion, what do I want to do following a championship?
Win again.
I want to win again. And we alluded with Kenneth Walker, what do you need to do is take that running back immediately. And I think if Isaiah Spiller is there at 1.12 as the reigning champion, if you are able to potentially get a first or second round running back, second round running backs, we got Miles Sanders, Joe Mixon, I think Dalvin Cook, like second round Jonathan Taylor, Devontae Williams, J.K. Dobbins, Cam Akers, like second round draft capital is still enough to kind of pull from the fact that this team's going to want him. And I think as a reigning champion, again, Isaiah Spiller, who is, again, there's varying opinions. He's like the Treylon Burks, this class of running backs. But I think assuming he's getting at least round 2 draft capital, that's a nice steal there for a champion.
I dig it, dude. I mean, honestly, like when people were freaking out about some of the athletic testing, I was like, I never thought he was like remarkably fast or anything anyway. Like his whole thing was the fact that he's a large man and can really, because he absorbs contact really well. He finds his way, like I didn't think of him as that type of like, burner or anything. So like where he's being taken now is just like, oh, like this is kind of the appropriate value I felt all along. So like, dude, if people are getting nervous, like, yo, dude, like now that like we're seeing like the change in like people's initial reactions to where their opinions are now, it's just like his value is just sliding comfortably swaddled in this wonderful thing I just want to hold in my arms and just be like, yes,
for sure.
Yes. So, yeah, I feel it, man. I feel it.
I like this time. There's so much, things that we don't know. It's like if draft capital is the final thing, it's like, I don't know, man. I like having, submitting your flag on these players, before.
Yeah. Because like, I don't know. I appreciate the fact that he, like, if he goes to like a really good power scheme, I'm like, yes, 100%. But my pick, that's a segue. Woohoo! I don't know. We're not really going to know how impactful they're going to be right away because they play the tight end position. But given that this is a tight end premium, Trey McBride, pretty good, man. You know what I mean? Like at this point, I feel as though it's pretty reasonable for that first thing to go off the board. And like, dude, like
Trey McBride, bro.
So good, he's not one of like, like the, bigger He-Man looking dudes out there, but like he can play, man. He's a really damn good receiver. And for those of you that have not checked out Trey McBride, obviously not right now, continue watching the remainder of this program. But after we are done, please, while you're still on YouTube, look up some highlights of that guy because he is good.
I wanted to take him at 1.12. But given the fact that a champion, go for that right now. I had to take Spiller. If not, I would have taken McBride over Howell for sure. Maybe not Pickett, but you're absolutely right, man. That's a good. I like Trey McBride, bro.
Fair enough.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous. I can't pick him at 2.03.
Oh, yeah, and I can't get him at 202.
You would have taken him at 202?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't really like taking tight ends too early. They take a long time to develop.
Do they not anymore? Recent tight end usage is meaningful, man. Freiermuth,
I think it's inflated from Freiermuth and Pitts.
Cole Kmet, Pitts,
and none of these guys are better than Cole. I would rather have Cole Kmet than any of these guys in this draft.
Don't get me fired up about tight ends, dude. Recent tight end usage as a rookie is meaningful. Disregarding Kyle Pitts even.
You can't disregard him. He was the overall.
Well, you brought him up. Like Hawkinson, Fant, Irv Smith, all these people, Freiermuth, Cole Kmet, they've been used immediately, and some as the second option. So
Evan Ingram, first round pick.
He had a good dude. Hey,
it started out okay. All right, let's be fair.
I'm a Giants fan, and I can say that. So it is what it is.
You got me started on these tight ends. Okay. You're up, Chef. You're up.
Hey, I mean that's my opinion, and I'm
202 Jelani Woods. There you go.
Just kidding. Sorry.
No, I'm not going Jelani Woods. Give me Skye Moore.
Remember what I told Skye Moore,
right.
Western Michigan.
Skye Moore, Western Michigan. Shout out. He is my wide receiver 5.
He's my neighbor
in this class. Really?
No, but we live in Kalamazoo. So
Okay. All right. Cool.
or he did. Maybe who knows where he's now, but yeah, shut up. Okay, wide receiver 5, Skye Moore. Why do you think that? He's coming from a MAC school. There's never been an early declare MAC, or whatever that's called. Not the Division 1, but MAC.
The mountain.
I don't think
stuff.
that he goes in the first round of the NFL draft, but I do think that he goes in the second round.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of teams that need that slot receiver, that utility guy that can get out to the flat and go right out curl routes, etc. And if you look at the second round big board, Jacksonville, Detroit, the Jets, even the Giants, Houston, Chicago, Seattle, they're all going to be wide receiver needy teams, especially like at 42, Indianapolis. Those are the teams that I'm looking at. I'm like, man, they're going to go after a slot wide receiver, a guy that they can just dish the ball off if their quarterback gets in trouble, and they need them young because they are rebuilding teams. Most of those teams that I named are rebuilding. So why not take a guy with 4.41 speed that does great with contested catches and catches balls in traffic? And that's what a slot receiver needs to do. That's what Justin Jefferson does. I can't think of any other better receiver than Justin Jefferson. Waddle did it a lot. Tyreek Hill did it a lot. Insert slot wide receiver. They can do that. And that's how he's going to generate value. So I like him in the second round here, the top second round. If I can get my wide receiver 5 on my list at the 202, I'm down for it, other than a tight end.
Right. I was a huge fan. I've done a couple of rookie drafts already, of getting Skye Moore late in the second. He's definitely going to be a guy that's going to be rising up boards and pushing the early second for sure.
If he goes day 2, for sure. If he doesn't get drafted in day 2 and he falls to day 3, then you'll see his value slip, which is great, because then I'll pick him up even later.
There's no way it's going to happen like you're alluding to. There's just no way. And building off of that, again, after the top 5, there's another couple, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish wide receivers that you could just juggle around again.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm going to go George Pickens here.
Right on.
Hey, there you go.
I like that. Right now, I feel comfortable taking this guy over Sam Howell. Obviously, I think this seems to be a big theme of this episode, is like landing spot will matter, draft capital matters. But right now, I think I'm confident taking Pickens, especially as maybe a team that's not really competing. If I could pair Burks and Pickens together, we'll let the quarterback figure itself out. But I think we could do a good job here, especially with Burks and Pickens, assuming, again,
you can't go wrong, like you said, with the last 3 or 4 guys that we all know of that are probably going to go in the next 4 or 5 picks. You can't go wrong with these guys. All right. One of these guys are going to hit. After that, it's a bigger question.
Oh, for sure. Exactly. There's only so much we could know right now at April 5th, 2022, 7:44 Eastern Standard Time.
Ooh.
That's where I'm at. I don't know, I know what you guys are.
That's where I am too.
Mountain time, Alaskan time.
Did you use any instruments to note the time, or do you just knew the time?
I looked over here at when I'm looking here, I'm looking at my third monitor, and I got the time down there. So, it's, I'm really in tune with the universe.
That's what I was alluding to. Yeah,
exactly.
Oh, no, I'm going to feel the air really quick. Yeah, 7:44.
There you go.
All right. So I went. Who's up next? Is it Herms?
It's your boy. Although, dude, no, I don't know what to do, because there's
you
two ways.
What to do.
You're tilting.
I am
Jelani Woods.
Hard. Maybe. Here we go. Lock it in. No. The 2 wide receivers that are I'm choosing between floor and ceiling here, because choosing between Christian Watson and John Dotson feels painful, but I'm good. Yeah, honestly,
Who do you believe in? Come on, Herms, go.
I think the reasonable thing to do is to take Jahan Dotson. I think that if everything works out well for Christian Watson, there's a chance that he could end up developing into some, crazy, super, uber athletic freak, and it could be fabulous. But Jahan Dotson, first round draft capital wide receiver, probably in the second round of this rookie draft.
Maybe so.
Sure. I'll go ahead and take that. It seems like the reasonable thing to do. So.
Right. Christian Watson is just Marquez Valdez-Scantling with potential first-round draft capital.
So it's it's got to be conservative, man. You got to be conservative.
I like that. Yeah. Again, all these guys, even early day two is round 2, day 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
If
2 and
early
3.
day 2,
Yes.
you might get yourself a T. Higgins, a Michael Pittman, like early second round.
Or 2 to 4.
It's not the worst thing to see amongst wide receivers. So just because they're not getting first round doesn't mean you should be away from them. Again, T. Higgins, Michael Pittman went early second.
I wish they did the first and second round on the first night.
That would be
Right,
cool.
dude. Oh, that'd be so much better.
We'd know a lot.
Yeah.
But
And then do 3 and 4 on day 2, and then 5, 6, 7 on the Saturday.
I know, but
Like, why? Why you got to ruin my Friday?
You know why?
Why you got to ruin my Friday? I got a wedding that night.
Really?
And I can't be on.
You could use
Thursday is the rehearsal dinner.
It's my job, honey. I gotta
rehearsal dinner, and I'm in the wedding, so I can't do anything about it. But
is it
you can bet the phone will be charged.
Swanson?
Yeah, Swanson.
Nice, dude. Congrats, Swanson.
Yeah,
Bad day though. You think he would?
Dude?
You think he'd care for you? Like what the heck, Swanson?
Oh, well, I mean, he's gonna have to excuse me
Dawn.
for being on my phone the entire
what the hell,
dinner.
Dude? All right, whatever.
Placing bets.
I'll message him.
Shout out,
separately.
not a sponsor.
I'll message him separately. Yeah, shout out. Okay. So Herms went. Chef, you're up. Speaking of,
all right. So I'm happy here in the middle of the second round to go ahead and take my QB4A in Sam Howell.
That's good value. That's good
right.
value.
He's got just like we mentioned with Kenny Pickett, he's got a variety of outcomes that he could be. Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, he's in that middle somewhere. He could flunk, but I don't think he flunks. I think he does enough. He lost a ton of talent on his team in the 2021 season and still produced.
Diami Brown.
Guys got juice. No, I mean Javonte Williams. Just to name
Michael
one.
Carter?
Michael Carter. Like there were no ways to get down the field. So I think he suffered because of that. But I still think he has it. He showed off in his pro day, hit most of his passes. Yes, they're orchestrated. Yes, they're practiced. But he looked good. He looked solid. He looked great moving around the pocket, even though there were no defenders there. But he's got enough speed where he can get away from defenders, make moves in the goal line if he needs to carry the ball. And then he's got a very, very accurate arm, almost as accurate as Kenny Pickett. And that's why I think I have Kenny Pickett a little bit higher. Kenny Pickett has a little bit better of accuracy, but Sam Howell has the tools to make it in the NFL. And 205 is a nice landing spot. That was the fall.
Great value.
Yeah.
Great value. Yeah. If someone were just tuning now, they'd be like, what are these idiots doing? It's super flex. I don't know. I mean, dude, again, 4-5, 22, 7:49 Eastern Standard Time. Like, there's only so much we know right now, and I don't know.
I wanted to see if he would fall back to me because I almost took him at the 202.
Yeah,
and then I was like, you know what? Let me see if he does fall back to me, and that just shows for Skye Moore, George Pickens, Jahan Dotson. Those guys definitely carry a lot of value, more so than other people may think. And now we're in the industry. We're looking at these guys. We're watching film. We're checking stats, and projecting them to almost hit their ceiling of production at some point in their career ahead of Sam Howell in this sense, because it is a super flex league. So I was shocked, but happy with the outcome.
You kind of hit that point home. Skye Moore, Pickens, Dotson, all these players warrant that pick currently in this time we are existing in, because we just don't know about where Howell is going to get drafted to. Howell, Coral, Pickett, these guys could potentially be reaches where we are at right now.
A lot of bridge, and we mentioned this in the DHH episode as well. Shout out. There are a lot of bridge quarterbacks as starting quarterbacks this year.
Sure.
So there is a lot of potential for these guys to sit at least 1 year behind that bridge quarterback.
Yeah,
we got Mariota, we have Carson Wentz, we have who's up there? Oh, Matt Ryan, and the list goes on and on. Jameis Winston. We can keep naming guys. Drew Lock,
Mitch Trubisky,
Corey Spela, Mitch Trubisky. There you go.
Me, I'll do it.
Right off the top, there's at least 5 quarterbacks starting that are labeled as that bridge quarterback. And I think it's a blessing for these guys in this class, because they do need, most of them, maybe with the exception of Malik Willis and maybe Desmond Ritter, they need more experience.
got to cook that chicken with a little bit of seasoning, you know?
Yeah, I think you need to let him marinate a little bit, marinate, let him sit behind one of those bridge quarterbacks, learn from experience. And those bridge quarterbacks, I mean, with the exception of Mitch Trubisky, maybe, they're pretty decent quarterbacks.
Nice,
maybe not Carson Wentz. Don't watch him play. But yeah, that's my point. And to get someone like this at the 205 that could turn into something like a Kirk Cousins, sign me up.
And of course, we can't forget Herbert was viewed as that bridge quarterback with Tyrod Taylor starting. The puncture of the lung, you know what I mean? Like, and he was going late first, early second. Like,
correct.
Howell very well could be this guy. You know, we don't know much. You know, we only know what we know. We are all just trying to confirm our biases. And speaking of biases, I don't know how this is a segue, but to get this ball rolling as we've halfway through the second round and we've been 50 minutes. Rachaad White, I think, is a great value to get at 2.06, especially a guy who could go early day 2 and he could push the draft boards. But I will take a nice potential stud running back there at the mid-second round.
That's fair.
I dig it 100%. So that puts me up there again. I'm going to do what I didn't do last time and take Christian Watson because of the reasons that I have already said.
Damn it.
Perfect.
Sniped.
Yeah. I think about right here is where we're getting to the oh shit range. Chef, who do you have here?
Oh shit range, huh?
Not necessarily, but you know what I mean? Like we're getting to like,
is there anybody else on that list down there that I can't see? There we go.
We're getting to the point where there's a couple people left that I should get. And then it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
I'm not going to go, oh shit, but give me Justin Ross from Clemson.
Yeah. That's good.
I'm not a hater of him. I'm not, it's at this point you're rolling the dice.
The only reason he's fallen is the injury. I mean, that neck injury surgery is scary, but if he is healthy, his talent is first round.
Yes. I mean, I probably could have waited on him, but
you could have, but I mean, like you said, get your guy.
Wow.
Okay. Am I up? Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to take David Bell. He's one of the last receivers. I mean, obviously a horrible testing, but maybe his game just is that 4 catches, 40-yard guy. And I think at the 9th pick in the second round, if he's just your kind of what Corey Davis is currently, I like that.
Vibes. 100% vibes.
I like this pickup we're doing here.
Yeah, man.
No one cares about like the 3rd round,
I think the responsible thing for Herms to do, I guess, at this point is like, is it a reach? Maybe, but at the same time, we're not really going to know till the draft happens because like Carson Strong is that last quarterback there where there's like maybe a little bit of a chance that he's something, maybe, you know what I mean? Because after that, like, Bailey Zappi, like, no, thank you. Just not going to do it. Although what's his, the Eastern Michigan guy? He looked pretty intriguing.
Western?
Yeah. Caleb Ellaby, dude.
Western.
Yeah, what? Yeah.
Get Kalamazoo. Get Skye Moore's quarterback correct.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know.
Not my hometown, but that's
no. I messed up the Michigans.
Wait, I may or may not live in Kalamazoo.
Yeah, we'll never know. But yeah, no, Carson Strong. Like there was enough buzz once upon a time that maybe I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the NFL thinks of him come draft time.
I like that, man. That's a good pick because again, if he does, who knows? A 2nd round draft pick isn't cool because like 1st round picks for quarterbacks are golden, but he may work out. And I like that pick, especially if you compare him with Coral.
Hey.
All right, Chef.
Fair is fair.
2.11. Fair, a little more.
Now we're getting to the point where it's getting a little shaky. But give me Wandale Robinson from Kentucky.
Wandale Robinson. Another a prospect people are, on the edge about.
He's quick on his feet. Not many people heard of him, but I think he showed off enough in the combine to merit him maybe a 4th round draft pick. So why not roll the dice?
I like that. And stemming off this thing, we are in a PPR league. So if James Cook is able to go to maybe the Cardinals and fill in there for the Edmonds quote unquote role for whatever that may be.
Shout out Eno Benjamin.
Benjamin for sure. But again, a pass catching running back there in James Cook, if he can just get, 2-3 receptions a game at the end of the second round, maybe
he would work well in Tampa Bay as well.
Maybe the role develops. Like, who knows? I think, taking that pass catching running back is going to be golden here. All right. Should we do third and fourth round or what?
I mean, if you'd like, we can do at least one more round.
Okay. I got to go pee first, though.
All right. Well, you have two picks to go. So, I think we can go for you if you don't.
Yeah. But I also have to put the picks in there. So just let me know what it is.
All right. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I don't care. Like this guy, what's he doing? Walks off set.
Yeah.
Just message us and there's a private chat in every StreamYard. Plus, shout out, not a sponsor.
Of course. Honestly, they should. They really should.
I don't see why not.
It would be fabulous.
I mean, we use it every week.
Exactly. And plus, apologize. Sorry, you have to pee. Sorry, that's chaos. It's chaotic. Yeah, leaving in the middle of the show to go pee. It's pretty on brand to just completely pause the show for some random reason.
Just coming off the edge, Corey running off the screen to go do God knows what in the bathroom.
Yeah, man. I mean, hey, but I guess while he's gone, now that we've gone through the 2 rounds, is there anything that with hindsight you're either oh yeah, that is just made me feel so much better, or the opposite of oh no, why?
I wish I would have taken James Cook instead of $1 Robinson.
Yeah, dude. James Cook, man,
that.
I
was looking at him and I'm like, but see, now I know. I really don't have any late seconds.
Yeah.
In the massive leagues that I'm in, I don't have any late seconds. I have mainly early to mid picks. So I'm not really worried about the back half of the second. And to be honest, I like the guys that are here in the first and second round, and that's who I'm really focused on from this draft class. So I'm happy to see them all going in the first and second round, and to know that I can just get rid of my third, fourth round picks.
100.
And not really waste my picks. If I don't have room on my roster, then they're giveaways. Throw them down the line for me for next year. I'd rather have 23 picks right now.
Did anyone want to make a pick?
No.
Oh, no. Well, we were waiting for you. We were waiting for you.
God, man, I love that. Okay.
Hope you washed your hands.
No, I did not. It's my house.
Yeah, exactly. It's fine. Yeah,
it's my house.
All
right. I was honestly thinking about, I don't want to get but
forever unclean.
You just flip the short. Okay.
Anyways,
touching, bro. No touch.
I will say though, there are 3 running backs I'm extremely excited about that are going to be going in this range. I'm going to reach on one of them, mostly because you didn't put his name on the list. Pierre Strong, dude.
He's there. He's there.
Oh, he is? Oh, well, I was about to make a whole big
point. He's there.
He's there.
Yeah, oh, go there. Yeah, of course. Yeah. No, but dude,
there's the one guy that we missed, huh?
Yeah. I'm really
missed, bro. It's the third round, early third round. I got him.
I'm just saying, I'm really glad that he tested well, because I wasn't able to find a ton of really good film of them, just because smaller school stuff, whatever. And plus, a lot of the camera work at those smaller schools, it's not like they're big. It's not like SEC network quality production. You know what I mean? So you kind of have to, dude. He's got that speed. He's got that oomph to him, and I think he's a pretty capable pass catcher as well. He's got a decent 3-down skill set potentially. I really like the dude. Shout out that guy, Jackrabbits. Okay, Jackrabbits, great team nickname,
Honestly, I was going to be all over Pierre Strong if he went to the Dolphins in that one cut scheme, one cut that you mentioned. That'd have been nice. Guess not. Here are the Crickets. Pick 2 here.
Honestly, watch out for the Dolphins, because just because Edmonds and Mostert are not that different in my mind in terms of the purpose that they serve. There is still room for them to put together a quality committee of someone doing that different role. So don't be surprised, people. It's one of the reasons I'm not really that enthusiastic about Edmonds.
I'm not. I'm on that train with you. I don't really care about Edmonds. Not really concerned about that offense either. Since the Tyreek thing that happened. Anyway, Anyway, let's get back on script here.
Yeah,
because
all right.
we always have a script here at the Coming Off the Edge, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the YouTube channel. Second pick, it is tight end premium, and I'm going to take my tight end 2 of this class. And I think Corey knows who it is. Nope, it's not Jelani Woods.
Why isn't it Jelani?
It should be. Jelani Woods is really good.
Jelani Woods. Jelani Woods is my number 3, guys. I'm sorry. Give me Greg Dolchik.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, I respect that.
All right.
All right.
I'm here
I
for this.
respect that. Okay.
I like him in the combine. I said, who is
Great.
this guy? He absolutely crushed it. Fast turns around on his crossing routes, similar to Mark Andrews. He's pretty much comped to Jared Cook. And with his ability to create separation and great ball handling, I think this is the guy in this draft that's going to fly under the radar, get picked up by someone, and turn into someone great. I like his practice. I like his practice film. I like his game film. Definitely not overutilized, but he's right there. He does have that full potential. And you know what? I was going to wait on him, but Corey, as you know, we were in some drafts together, and I know that you picked him right in front of me. So I was really pissed about that, and I want to make sure I get him here.
You know, I know my tight ends. I actually just tweeted out a couple days ago, like Greg Dolchich in the 4th is an automatic select. So, you know,
He ain't making it into the 4th of my drafts.
Taking your guy, and he could definitely potentially be someone that jumps boards, especially if he gets like 3rd-ish round draft capital. If he could go to the Giants, I would absolutely
go to Cincinnati.
That. Yeah, Cincinnati. He could learn from her. I think the Giants would be sick. Cincinnati for sure.
I think he does have potential, and he's got a way to the starting roster eventually.
I believe,
talent wise,
you're alluding to it. I believe in him. He's one of my favorites. If Corey Luke is watching, he is not one of my favorite. Wink, winks. Greg Dolchich is awesome. Pick 3 here to keep things rolling. I'm going to go Brian Robinson, especially a guy who's great in pass protection. He could find his way on the field. I think he's talented. I love to see a running back like that kind of fall here to whether it's the early 3rd, mid-3rd round. Someone like him is a kind of guy I'm going to take a swing at for sure and hope I hit a home run. Maybe I get a single. Maybe I luck out, get a double. You know, I'm just happy to take my swing at this guy.
That leads me to my swing, although I think the stakes are a lot different because if this works, I'm a genius. If this fails, it's like a horrible pick. Zamir White, because, I mean, that injury history, like the fact that he already has both of his knees blown out, you know what I mean? Like either he just doesn't hang and cut it at all,
Literally,
or it's behind him, and this dude's built with like the athletic pedigree to absolutely because like once upon a time this was like the guy. So at this point I'm willing to take that gamble
for sure. And like Chef alluded to, Georgia running backs, White is a monster. But like you're alluding to, there are reasons why, just like Justin Ross has fallen. But if they are able to figure it out, you know, modern science, modern technology, modern injuries, whatever we're talking about here, whatever
ACLs only take 6 months.
Yeah,
or 3 months. Sorry.
Good old modern medicine, man.
Modern.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for, Herms. Damn. Okay. So who's after Herms? Is it me or you, Chef?
Me.
It's you.
It's me.
Again, everyone I have here, as we found out, is not everyone that's here. So if you guys know anyone else, please.
Yeah, I'm not really jumping out the window here and trying to take somebody else. This guy was my running back 5 pre-combine. Sorry. Pre-combine. Yeah. And it is Kyron Williams.
I like this guessing game that I'm doing.
And yeah, I mean, you're doing pretty well. I guess you know my my stuff there. That's good that we're all done with all our drafts. And I've been able to get Kyron Williams in almost every single draft, at least in the middle of the 3rd. And I'm okay with that because you know what? If he pops in any sort of fashion and gains any value, I'm happy with it. And you know what? His game film is a lot better than what he produced at the combine, and his pro day proved that. He ran a 4.5 at his pro day. All right. I know he was very, very slow in the I think he ran a 4.7 at the combine.
Wasn't great.
Wasn't great. He didn't have a hey, guess what? These guys sat on a bus all day long, or a plane.
Excuses.
And they waited until late. The running backs went late. All right. He's not a track star by any means, but I think he plays faster. He plays faster than what he ran at the combine. And I was holding back on that because I was really all about him pre-combine. I'm like, oh man, I can't wait. I want to see his 40 time. And his 40 time was depressing. But
horrible. Everything was.
I'm okay with the fact of taking a pass catching back in the middle of the third round of a rookie draft for fantasy because he's a pass catching back. And that's what he's really good at. He's good at catching the ball on the edge and turning upfield. And he has the burst to do that. He's not a track star. He will get tackled. He may not have that finishing speed, but he's going to get downs. If he turns into anything like a Boston Scott, I'm with it.
Is Boston Scott more athletic, though?
Boston Scott's probably around the same size, faster, I believe. Maybe that was a bad analogy.
What you're saying, a pass catcher running back, that's a thing that's utilized nowadays.
PPR,
for sure.
give them to me. And because not a lot of teams have bell cows anymore.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely an RBBC type league. I mean,
Even
he went,
if he turns into Salvin Ahmed, I don't care. Third round.
Back-to-back 15, 16, 1,800 yards college seasons.
Yeah, back-to-back over 1,000-yard consecutive. Yeah.
He doesn't have the speed that's going to beat the edge, but like he has the little moves, I guess, what you're alluding to. And like you're saying, a 3.05 mid-third round pick, a guy with the potential, the ceiling here to kind of outweigh that draft class. You know, I like that, you know?
Yeah, because I don't really.
What's left, you know?
Yeah, exactly. There may be a wide receiver here or there, maybe another tight end, but that's about it.
And speaking of that, I'm going to take the boy Jelani Woods here.
Hey, segue.
Greg Dulcich is awesome. I currently, just based off the pro days and combine, I'll have Woods ahead just because he tested superior. I can switch them if draft capital sways it. Dulcich gets third.
Interchangeable.
Yeah. Woods gets fifth. There's not around fourth round where Albert Ukwebunam was drafted. I will throw out any tight ends who have been kind of beyond five. Obviously, Darren Waller was a fifth round pick, but he was a wide receiver, transitioned to tight end, and he went through his own personal problems as well.
Kittle was a fifth round pick as well.
Right, exactly.
Mark Andrews was a fifth round pick.
Mark Andrews was a third.
Oh.
Kittle was a fifth. He had his injury concerns at his respective school.
I thought Hayden Hurst was the third.
Hayden Hurst was a first rounder.
Oh, sucks for him.
Yep, to Ravens. Come on, don't come at me about my tight ends, boy. Just kidding. Sorry.
I thought Hawkinson was an eighth round pick.
Oh, maybe. But Jelani Woods and Dulcich, you could interchange those whenever you find about the draft capital. I'm happy to get Jelani Woods sixth pick. Herms, seventh pick. Your in theory team, theoretical team, two receivers. Wow, Olave and Watson's great, especially if he goes to the Chiefs at 29 and 30. What are we doing here? Again, this is not everybody, but this is what we have. We have wider period if you're into that.
Honestly, dude, I'm a little torn here because there's like one running back I feel super good about left, but there's also an interesting receiver on the board. And I haven't really taken too many wide receivers, so I'm just going to go with – I'm going to take – I know, but I also, I picked like Brees and some other stuff. It's just like I'm trying to figure out like how heavy I want to go with it. But Alec Pierce, there you go. Shout outs. I'm
a guy super athletic who could definitely rise draft boards in the NFL. I like this pick. Dude, why do you go on him?
Because he's good. It's just like because like when watching, like I at least noticed like one of the things that make Desmond Ritter look so good. At least in some part, has to do with the fact that throwing to Alec Pierce, he came down with a lot of really solid balls. So it's just like, it's one of the, and I feel like a lot of people maybe ended up with this being like a thing that happened the way that it did. It's like you start watching the quarterback, but then by the end, you're like, wait a minute, who's this guy he's throwing to? It's like, it's just happy little, fun accidents that you stumble your way into. Like,
dude, yeah. And shout out, he's also from a local suburb around where I'm from, about 15, 20 minutes away. So shout out Alec Pierce. I like that pick, man. That's a great pick. IMHO, in my honest opinion. Chef.
Give me Jerome Ford.
Nice.
Another Cincinnati guy, transferred from Alabama. Now, we know Alabama has a bunch of running backs that come out and are NFL caliber. But this guy was not going to get his shot his senior year. So he went to Cincinnati and he blew the doors off in Cincinnati. 20 total touchdowns, 19 on the ground, 1,300 yards. This guy is a good football player. Ran a 4.65 in the combine, which is, it's a little slow.
Javonte 4.62.
Yeah, I'm not too mad about it. And I think like I said, man, I'm taking my shots on some of these running backs in the third round because if they pop at all, look at Khalil Herbert, sixth round draft pick, got his shot, and then Ramondre Stevenson, same thing,
fourth round.
Fourth round. All right,
and so going on with it.
Later round draft capital. I'm okay with these guys.
And to continue this, exactly what you're saying. Since this is a PPR league, points per reception, I'm going to go with Tyler Batty.
Hey.
It's kind of like previously when Kyron Williams had the hype. If you were going to spend a first round pick on Kyron Williams, it's like you might as well wait to the third round for Tyler Batty. Another pass-catching running back that can for sure excel in this specific type of scoring. Chef, you just alluded to it. You're going to take this kind of swing, this big swing on a running back. Ford is a great pick. Batty is another pick I think that warrants this, especially in PPR. If it's half PPR, I may not make that pick, but I think that's worth the risk.
For Ford, I would, because he doesn't catch as many balls. He's more of a
no, that's what I'm saying.
Type of guy.
Like if it wasn't PPR, I wouldn't go for Batty, but I would for Ford. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Batty, I don't know if he'll excel like in that because he just doesn't. I think he's a pass catching guy, and I like that in PPR. But yeah, no, I like Ford too. So don't get me wrong on that. My bad if I said that wrong.
No, you didn't.
But here we are, Herms. You went Corral and Strong here. You got two quarterbacks at pick 10, so you're definitely potentially a competing team there. What are we thinking here in the late third?
It blows my mind that Damian Pierce is on the board. So
that's what I wanted to
I'm taking Damian Pierce. Truthfully, where I took Zamir White, it would have made sense. You know what I mean? Like, I think like this slide is insane. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, I couldn't really find, like the market share at Florida. And I'm like, fair. I think that's fair. There are a lot of schools where if you can't do that, it's definitely a concern. But Florida specifically, they do such a weird thing rotating in backs that, like, I'm willing to look at his case specifically due to that fact a little differently. You know what I mean? Because, like, their version of a committee honestly doesn't make a lot of sense. So I don't know if it's really his fault. So, like, it's a fair criticism most of the time. But from what I saw and heard from people who went down to Mobile, watched some of the, Senior Bowl drills and all that stuff and got to talk to the guy. Like, I mean, hey, man, like, I think there's a decent chance this guy is just like a bowling ball that just goes out there aggressive, doing some crazy stuff. And I also heard he did pretty well in pass pro, which should, also be able to keep him on the field in more situations. So at this point, that feels really, really good.
Absolutely. These third round running backs here, it's just interchangeable. Take your shot at whoever you believe in. These three guys, I think, are going to be great. We're going to learn a lot more when the draft comes, but they all have their upside.
And I think that's it for the running backs, in my opinion. I don't think I want to beat a dead horse, but I will go with somewhat of a
the Algier
elephant and give me John Mechie. Or Mechie, however you want to pronounce him, from Alabama. Here at the end of the third round, he's still there, correct?
Yeah, he's yours, man, right there.
Yeah, I'll take that. I mean, take a shot. That's all I got to say.
That's the Alabama guy, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, if you're good at Alabama,
dude, in Alabama, LSU, Clemson, wide receiver, like
he winds up with the Patriots. All of a sudden, he's reunited with Macaroni up there, and then it's Macaroni and Michi.
There's that's a new
Macaroni and Michi. I like it. See, there we go.
There's a reason why these players are going to Alabama. These
new T-shirt idea. There we go.
Obviously, they have.
If he goes to the Pats, we got to make him and sell him.
For sure.
100%.
Macaroni and Michi.
Macaroni and Michi. Like it's right there. It's beautiful.
Guys, so here we are, 12th pick. You have seeing my philosophy as a champion. I'm going to Abram Smith. I mean, he just ran a 4.5.
Nobody talks about this guy.
I think this is a pick right here. It's going to win me or lose me this league again. Obviously, pairing him with this stuff's cool, but a team's going to love that 4.5 speed. Abram Smith is going to be a guy I would like to believe is going to be a guy to rise boards here. And if he could get some solid draft cap there, I think he's going to have a chance to really win himself a role. And that means maybe more for NFL than fantasy, but this is a type of guy that I think could win himself a role in the NFL, which then starts the process to getting fantasy points. So I hope Abram Smith there, Baylor boy, running a 4.5 at his pro day, really kind of shines right here.
All right, let's not throw some salt in the wounds, and let's just stop it here. And let's end on, out of the guys on this list, one from each of us, who we would take with our next picks.
Love that.
Yeah,
that's a good way to end it.
Yeah, just end it like that. And
yeah, we're so far into this. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's how we should end it, right?
We don't care about the first and second round. So I love this idea. Herms, you want Breece Hall, Trey McBride, Pierce Strong. How you finishing off this